Good morning, Graham students. This is Mr. Sayre. It is Wednesday, January 13th. And today what's going to happen is you will be looking at Chinese dynasties again. But also today you're going to kind of do a worksheet which looks at different quotes. And the quotes you're going to pick and choose. So you're going to watch my video first, and then you're going to complete the worksheet. Optionally, if you want to get ahead, you can work on the pro-con sheet that is attached today. I know I attached it yesterday, but you'll be using this one for tomorrow. You can copy and paste stuff if you added it yesterday to this pro-con sheet. Let me just clarify what that is. So the pro-con sheet is this pro and this con. And let's say you were doing the educated or the aristocracy, this is the one you would use. Or let's say you were doing the foreigners, you would write that, and then you would say pros. There's easy, this one's easy to get. I misspelled foreigners. But if you want to get ahead, like I said, you're going to probably be shooting for about 4 to 7 of these. Why would your people be the best advisors? Cons, I would say here 1 to 5 cons. And some of this will be in the textbook that you were reading about your person, and some of it will be just you thinking about it. Okay? So that's what I would suggest, but this is optional. Now, what are you supposed to do today? What you're going to do today is this. You are going to do this worksheet, okay? And on the front is just the reading part, and on the back, this is the writing part. And what you're going to do is this. Throughout China's long history, the Chinese have searched for principles to guide their conduct and ensure order in their society. This is the work you need to do today. As a result of their search, 3 schools of thought developed: Confucianism, Taoism, and legalism. Since the early 700s, Chinese life had been guided by these 3 philosophies. The directions. Below, you're going to read 2 quotations from each of the 3 philosophies. After reading all of them, choose the one quote from each area and answer the questions on the back of this paper. So you're going to read these 2, and you're going to pick one. So Confucianism, if the ruler is upright, all will go well without orders. But if he himself is not upright, even though he gives orders, they will not be obeyed. The other one is, by nature, men are pretty much alike, and that means men and women. It is learning and practice that set them apart. So you're going to pick whichever one you think you either like or that represents Confucianism best. They both represent Confucianism, but maybe you understand one better than the other. And then what you're going to do is you're going to come down here and see Confucianism, and you're going to type in that quote word for word. Do you agree or disagree with the quote, and why? And then give an example. And so I'm going to give an example for this second one. By nature, men are pretty much alike. It is learning practice that sets them apart. Let's say there's 2 people, and one practices soccer all the time and the other one doesn't. The one's probably going to be better at soccer just because they practice. So that would be my example. Now, you can't use that example. You got to come up with your own. Now, the other thing is a Confucianist is kind of a person who is like somebody who tells stories to get the point across, okay? And it's kind of like somebody who comes up to you and goes, well, this is my concern, and they tell you a little story, and then you kind of get it from the moral of the story. So that is kind of a Confucianist, okay? So you're going to try and pick a teacher that you could have had in 6th grade or 7th grade that kind of is that kind of person, okay? They're like a model of how you're supposed to act, and so you say, well, you know, if so-and-so, my teacher, can act that way, then I'm going to follow that example. Okay? Taoism and legalism. You're going to also do these 2. Now, don't use me as an example for any of these individual ones. at the end, you're going to pick which one do you think I am. Okay? And then you're also going to pick at the end, what would you be like if you wanted to be a successful middle school teacher? Okay? Not somebody who's popular. Okay? Taoism, let's look at this. Taoism, the duck's legs are short, but if we try to lengthen them, the duck will feel pain. The crane's leg, that's a tall, skinny bird you may have seen at Shoreline, those white birds, are long, but if we try to shorten them, the crane will feel grief. Therefore, we are not to cut off what is by nature long, nor lengthen what is by nature short. From caring comes courage. Now, for this top one, you don't have to read the whole thing or retype the whole thing. You could just put part of it because it's so long. But obviously with Taoism, they're just kind of like, you realize this. With Taoists, they don't believe really in rules. They just feel like everybody's going to be good. So like we don't need speed limits. Okay, everybody's just going to naturally drive the right speed. We don't need tardy bells. All kids are just going to show up on time, and all teachers will start their class on time. It's just natural. Now, if you don't believe that, okay, that's one thing. But these are two quotes, okay? And again, when it says Taoism, do you agree or disagree with the quote? You may just like the quote, but you can disagree with it and say why, okay? Legalism. Legalism is the opposite of Taoism. This is only by harsh laws imposed by a strong ruler can ensure order in society, or the ruler alone possesses power, not democracy. They don't believe in voting. It's just the ruler, wielding it like lightning or thunder. So this is a person who believes everybody's bad and have to have lots of rules. And so if you have a teacher that you've had a teacher in 6th grade or 7th grade that you feel like there are a lot of rules, okay, and they're very strict and it has to be this way, write them down. For Taoism, it believes everybody's good and you need very few or no rules, okay? And so then again, like I say, fill out all 3 of these. This is your only homework for today, okay? And then which 1 to 2 teachers uses this, and I'm going to change legalism. I'm going to go with 1 to 2. It's the only one. Well, you know what? I'm sorry. I put 1 to 2 for all these. So 1 to 2 is fine. Then, like I say, put me down here just because I want you to basically show me where I would fit. And then, like I said, where would you fit? Would you be a Taoist? Would you be a Confucianist? Somebody who kind of tries to explain things and, learn by lesson, learn by example. Everybody's good. Everybody's bad. Lots of rules. Everybody's good. Not many rules. So this is the only assignment that is due for you tomorrow. Okay? If you have any questions, email me and I'll be glad to get back to you. And again, this is optional. This is if you want to get ahead, you can get ahead. That's great. So have a great day and go Bears. I'll see you tomorrow.